go. Rather die with my brothers, fits only me left alive by myself. Bury me deep, I'm still standing above, and I'm hearing the screams from the ones that's before us. Now that we stand, we gon' fight till we conquer. The price of the victory's part of the process, part of my energy, part of me lives in the game, and the game never stops, so I'll probably never leave.
It's the best week of the year here in Muncie. It's homecoming week, and boy, do we have some action for you. It's the Redbird rivalry, a rematch of the only loss of last year for the Ball State Cardinals. Welcome to SportsLink Game Day, presented by Sight and Sound. I'm your host, Hudson French, and we've got everything to get you prepped for the game. When Ball State took their most recent road trip, they were in a much different position than where they are now. They now stand at second place in the MAC West Division behind 5-2 Northern Illinois. For the last 2 weeks, from east to west, Ball State has conquered the state of Michigan.
Hey, you might be a movie today.
Now, two huge reasons that Ball State was able to get away with the win in Ypsilanti are SportsLink's players of the game, Carson Steele and Malcolm Lee. Carson, of course, ran for 138 yards and 1 touchdown for the freshman, and Malcolm Lee called game against Ben Bryant and the Eagles. Now, as we've stated before, it is homecoming week, which means bed races, food truck rallies, and the legendary Air Jam night. And even though it's a little frigid out here, we expect a full house of excited Cardinal fans. We went out to campus to gauge that excitement amongst the fans and students.
I'm just excited because last year we had no events because of COVID, and I think it's going to be great this year.
Man, I got everybody back outside. You know, it's great to see community back together. I just like the campus being vibrant again.
Honestly, after this past year with COVID and everything, a lot of uncertainty, like just this alone, everyone being here, it's kind of a great opportunity to have everyone.
It's great seeing everybody out here, everybody's making friends and have a good time.
I don't know, just seeing everyone here, being in person, the new talents.
I'm just really thankful that we're all able to come out and spend the week with the homecoming people.
I'm really excited for the bed race. I've never actually been to it, so I'm excited to see what it's like.
I'm really excited for the game on Saturday, and I'm also really excited for the bed race.
The bed race, man. I mean, we're both freshmen, so we always hear about the bed races, so I think it'll be pretty fun and cool to watch.
I'm excited for bed races. I've never been before. I'm a part of it this year, so we're really looking forward to that.
The bed races. I don't know, it seems like a cool tradition. I'm a freshman, so it's my first time experiencing all of that. So yeah, just excited to see all the homecoming stuff.
So what are your expectations for the Cardinals on Saturday?
Cards by a million. Go Cards. Let's go Cards. Chirp, chirp. We're going to sweep Miami across the floor. Let's go, let's go Cards.
They're going to win, of course.
Ball State's going to kill Miami, and it's going to be a great game.
We're going to kill Miami. You already know what it is. Winning streak.
We're going to destroy Miami, for sure. Let's get a win, baby.
What's in a story? From the first time we picked up a pencil, we were storytellers. Storytelling connects us as humans. It teaches us how to live by discovering how fellow human beings overcome. It initiates emotions that bind us to the world and people around us. A circular journey where the end is the beginning. Here, our story represents a path to elevate, educate, and empower students and athletes. Ball State SportsLink, developing the next generation of creative storytellers.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Now joining us is a man known very well here in Muncie, the career leader in passing yards, touchdowns, completions, threw for over 10,000 yards, vaulting him to a 6th-round draft pick in 2014. Keith Winning, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's fun to be back.
Yeah, we got a little special guest here. What's her name?
This is my little daughter, Summer, almost 4 years old, so she wanted to join me today.
For sure. What does it mean for you to be back here on campus, and especially during homecoming week? How special is that?
It's great. You know, you don't get back. You know, when you get busy with life and stuff, you don't get back near as much as you want to.
Right.
It brings back a lot of memories, a lot of good times. You see a lot of familiar faces. There's a lot of nostalgia from just pulling up. A lot of memories that come back. It's really got a place in my heart specifically. There's so many memories and moments that happen at this place that it's a great feeling to be back.
And for a quarterback, and you know, when you were playing, what did homecoming week mean to you? Was there more of a spotlight there?
Homecoming, I mean, the biggest thing was you knew guys from previous years were going to come back. You knew family from outside of town were going to be in town. So as a player, you know, your mindset didn't really change on the game, but you knew it was going to be a little bigger event. So you wanted to be prepared. You wanted to try to perform at the best of your ability, put on a good show, obviously come away with a win. But homecoming, you know, the whole week leading up to it, you know, all the different events and whatnot, it was a special part of the season.
Yeah, we think today's going to be a great game. You know, obviously Ball State's favored in this one, but it's the Red Bird rivalry. You can never really take too much of an advantage here. And we have a special kind of accomplishment here. Drew Plitt is going to hit 8,000 yards, could hit it today, 116 passing yards away from that. As a quarterback, what did that mean coming into the game? How did you go about that game knowing that you could hit it?
You know, one thing that while I was playing, people talked about, you know, the records and the milestones and things like that. As a player, I never truly had that in the back of my mind while I was playing. You know, it was one play at a time. Hold on, babe. It was one play at a time. You know, after the game, when I broke 11,000 yards, I think that was the first time, or maybe it was 10,000 yards. That was the first time where I thought, dang, did that really just happen?
Yeah.
You know, the touchdown record and everything like that. It's something that I never really thought about while I was playing, but when it was all said and done, when I was done playing here, to look back on the records, look back at the yards and all that kind of that good stuff, it means a lot now. You know, it's cool to still see where you ended up, everything like that. But as far as Drew, I don't know him all that well, but he's probably not worried about it. It's going to happen. when it happens. So it's at the end of the day, it's just a stat. So you want to do your best during the game, each play, to make the most of every opportunity, and whatever happens after that is all great.
Sure. And if we're keeping on the tail of comparison, you guys beat IU twice while you were here. And Ball State's done something similar. They've played underdog the last 3 weeks. Army was the biggest one. What kind of confidence does that give a team when you beat a bigger school like that?
You get all the confidence in the world. Going back to the IU games, they thought we were going to come in there, they're going to roll over us and just beat us out of the stadiums, but that wasn't the case. The confidence you get from those games, playing those bigger opponents, South Florida here, when we played IU a couple times, those games really boost you to the rest of the season. Playing with confidence, that can make or break a game, a portion of the season. So that definitely helps, going forward.
And I just want to put an emphasis on what they've done over the past few weeks. With this offense, they started to explode a little bit. They have so many weapons, and I think you had your number one guy. We'll get you out of here soon. We had your number one guy, Willie Snead, and that was kind of a cheat code, but now they have kind of a plethora of options everywhere. You can throw wide receivers in the backfield, run those jet sweeps. You can do whatever you want with taller wide receivers on the outside. So what would you kind of expect to see out of Ball State's offense this week?
Just like you said, being able to move guys around. You got multiple playmakers. So putting your playmakers in different locations, making it really tough for the defense to account for all the playmakers, and then Drew being back there, being able to pick and choose where he wants to go. That makes all the difference in the world. When you have the capability of saying, going to your best matchup and trusting who you want to get the ball to, and then trusting that they're going to make a play after it, as a quarterback, that's all you want. Get them the ball and let them do the rest.
Yeah.
And truly for me, when I played, that was my biggest thing, is try to get my playmakers the ball and let them do the rest.
Now, last thing. What would your expectations be for today? It doesn't have to be a prediction. It doesn't have to be score, final, or anything. But what would your expectation be today for the Redbird rivalry?
I think Ball State's going to come out on top. The hype and the added, homecoming week, everything into it. It definitely amplifies, you as a player, as a team, the coaching staff. You want to play a little harder, do a little better. I'm excited to see plays. I'm excited to see how Ball State can come out and get off to a hot start and try to make this day end really well.
Thank you so much. That is Ball State legend Keith Winning. Thank you so much for being here. Go enjoy the game. This is SportsLink Game Day. We'll be right back.
Arena in Muncie, Indiana is the location for NCAA volleyball.
Going out on a rollout.
Zwolanski to serve for Ball State, and away we go.
Replay. Ready, three, take three. Ready, effect to red, roll it, ready to dissolve Y. Stay there two. Dissolve Y, roll. Ready, out to two. And out to two. Money.
Junior setter for this Norse team. Wilanski sets up Mitchum, and Mitchum had it read well by Northern Kentucky. And it's moving.
Ready, two, take two. Ready, effect to red, roll it. 13 Ball State. 13 Ball State. Ready, six. to 6.
Tonight's Ball State Sports Link production was produced by Cameron Surdick and directed by Tristan Russell. So for Lexi Evelyn and Anna Lowe, I'm Ryan Klimcak saying so long from Muncie, Indiana.
Now joining us is SportsLink Digital play-by-play man Charlie Maurer. And Charlie, this is the first time when Ball State's been expected or you know, favored to win from the get-go in a while. You know, we beat Army, we beat Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, all in underdog stories, you know, 4-0, 4-1, and 4-2. How did that stack up for you?
Yeah, I mean, we played really, really good football. I mean, it all started with that Army victory, right, at home in the shoe. Army coming in undefeated, and a lot of teams thought that we were not going to win that game, but Ball State able to pull it out against a really good team in the Army Black Knights, and then you go on the road to play Western and Eastern Michigan, both really good teams in Kalamazoo, in Ypsilanti again. Both those teams are really good. Now we're getting into the kind of the meat of this MAC schedule right now for the Ball State Cardinals, and they're playing their best right now, but they got a solid Miami of Ohio team here in Muncie today, and it's going to be a really fun one.
I think those were signature wins that came along with signature plays, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there have been highlights all season long for the Ball State Cardinals, and a lot of different players filling in those highlights. But starting with Carson Steeleman, he has been the man in the running game right now for the Ball State Cardinals. He Mr. Indiana football in high school his senior year, but you can see this touchdown right here, ground and pound right up the middle against Western Illinois. He has become the premier back right now for the Ball State Cardinals. 140 rushing yards for him against Eastern Michigan and a touchdown. And then Justin Hall, man, whenever you see his name on the screen, you better start watching because he is a highlight reel waiting to happen. See, just burn the defensive back there, easy wheel route for a touchdown. Justin Hall is the man in the wide receiver room right now for the Ball State Cardinals, running the ball, catching the ball. He is a man who can score at all different levels of the field for the Ball State Cardinals. Got to show some love to the defense as well. Jalen Thomas has had a fantastic year against Toledo. Give me that interception right there, man. He is a ball hawk right there in the middle of the field, but you know, he's great at stopping the run, good at rushing the passer, and you can see right there. He's got some hands to him as well. And then that Toledo game, obviously Ball State not able to get the win, but a lot of turnovers forced by that Ball State team against Toledo, and this 3-game run, really good. You love to see that out of the Ball State defense. And then Johannes Tyler, slow start to the season, but now coming into true form. And against Army, that was a game-clinching touchdown against the Black Knights. And Drew Plitt and Johannes love throwing that fade route in the end zone, one-on-one matchup with his frame and his hands. He's able to get up and get those balls on the outside. He's a fantastic wide receiver for the Cardinals. And then Justin Hall, once again, man, like I said, he can score at all levels of the field. We saw that touchdown reception for him earlier, but now the 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Army, the first play of the game for both of these teams, and it just kind of set the momentum and set the tone against Army, and that was a huge score for Ball State and for Justin Hall. He is a heck of a player and the best player on this Ball State team.
Now, you know, I really like that interception from Malcolm Lee to seal the game in Ypsilanti, give us a 38-31 win. That would have been my number one for sure. But for Ball State to carry out this win that they're favored in, who has to step up and have a big game?
It's not one single player. It's the entire offensive line for Ball State. They've had a good 3-game stretch here against Army, Western, and now Eastern, but now against Miami of Ohio, this is a really good front seven. And the offensive line has played really good so far, opening up holes for Carson Steele and Will Jones in the middle, and then also giving Drew Plitt plenty of time. We saw a lot of deep ball highlights there just a few seconds ago, and Drew Plitt loves throwing the deep ball, and so does Mike New. When you have time from that offensive line, it gives you opportunities to throw the ball downfield. That was a huge key for at least us, right, at the start of the season, was take more shots downfield. They started to do that here in this 3-game stretch, and it's because the offensive line is giving them plenty of time. On the defensive side, it's got to be Bryce Cosby. He is the man on defense, the quarterback, the leader of this defense. And what's great about Bryce is that he can play at all 3 levels on the defense. He can play at the line of scrimmage. He can play that kind of linebacker position as well. Then obviously he's designated as a safety. He's a fantastic ball hawk as well. You see an interception here against Army, which was a huge interception to say the least. He is a tackling machine. He can get after the passer. He can intercept the ball, and he loves getting his hand right there and just try and force those balls out, right, for those fumbles as well. 2 forced fumbles on the year for Bryce Cosby. He is the man on this defense, and he needs to have another great game against this high-powered Miami of Ohio offense. Moving on to that Miami of Ohio side, there are so many good players on offense, but specifically Jack Sorensen. He's had a fantastic year, as you can see, 34 receptions, 565 yards, and 5 touchdowns. You might even say, is a Ball State killer as well. He has played really well historically against Ball State. He had a great game last year in that home opener for Miami against Ball State and delivered Ball State's only loss on the year. And he is a fantastic wide receiver, a true threat on the outside for Miami of Ohio. And then on the defensive side, Lonnie Phelps, he is a true pass rusher for Miami of Ohio. He is their guy to go go after Drew Plitt and try and get him on the ground early. 5.5 sacks, tied for 15th in the country in that category so far this season. He is a menace on the outside, and he's not so much the run defense guy, he is the pass rusher. Ball State loves to throw the ball. We might see a little more running today for Ball State, but if it's an obvious passing situation, watch out for Lonnie Phelps. He is so good on the outside.
I'm really looking forward to that Maurer and Sorensen kind of hookup connection against the Ball State defense that is banged up. You know, we're missing Jimmy Daw. Nick Jones is out. Brandon Martin's kind of a question mark at this point. So it'll be an extremely interesting matchup to see. Now, we've talked about the emergence of the turnover belt and that spotlight seemingly just hovering over the Ball State defense as they take on their BIA or Best in America mantra. We sat down with a few members of the Ball State defense this week to kind of gauge how they cultivated that culture on the defensive side of the ball. Take a look.
Clayton Call, COVID messed things up, so I guess technically I'm like a junior academically. I play inside linebacker. I'm number 32, and I'm from Franklin, Indiana.
Christian Albright, number 9, technically a 5th-year senior, outside linebacker from Kennesaw, Georgia.
Jalen Thomas, number 6, playing inside linebacker from Lima, Ohio, and I'm a 6-year senior.
What's one word to describe this defense, would you say?
Hungry.
I'd say tough, for sure.
Resilient. We've been down, came back.
Never satisfied. Go along.
Yeah.
Keep going. Is this defense like always as connected as you guys are? I know like usually in the past you guys are, but like just what's like different about this year?
I feel like just everybody just trusting each other, and then with the COVID year, we basically got everybody back on the defense. So I just say we're just so close. So when you know you can go out there and you playing next to some of your best friends, it just makes you want to go harder because you don't want to let them down.
Yeah, being a young guy walking into these older guys that have been around and played so much football with each other, you could instantly see the friendships of family playing for each other. And like as a younger guy that's now kind of like an older guy in this group, it's like, man, I want to be like that.
And we're always just building on our chemistry and our togetherness, and just being blessed with another year to come back and be able to do this thing again with your brothers.
Okay, so do you guys ever have like any friendly competitions? Like, who would you guys say is probably like pound for pound the strongest of the group?
Us three?
I say he probably, he power clean the whole weight room if he wanted to. So
maybe. I don't know. Pound for pound?
I'll give it to Clay.
I give it to Clay.
Yeah. I don't know if I take that. I'd look at the numbers. Yeah, but we actually do lift together on Sundays. So, we're always, I clean the heaviest, so my numbers are a little heavier, so we always push each other that way. Jay squats more than I do. So I'm going to look at Jay, it's competitive. It's kind of how the whole defense and the whole facility is really. Everybody's competing with each other, but from a good perspective. We want to make each other better.
What would you guys say is like the overall mentality of this defense?
I would say just stay hungry, really, because obviously we had some great success last year. So I would say really the whole mentality to just get back to where we was at, and to do that we just got to stay hungry and go out and do what we know how to do.
Yeah, I would say, just having that BIA mentality, something we try to pride ourselves on, attacking every day to be the best in America at what we done.
That's what we pride ourselves on, BIA and family. So just take it day by day. You do the best you can and work as hard as you can. You're gonna get to where your goals are at. So.
And so, what can we expect from the defense moving forward?
Just that same group of guys that's gonna stay hungry, not gonna get complacent, be out there playing hard for each other.
Yeah, hard, physical, fast for each other. I mean, when we get in here on Sundays, we want to turn on the tape and say, yeah, I played hard for the guy next to me. I played hard for my brothers, offense, defense, special teams. But I think we take big pride in that we're a family on defense, and that we play for each other. So when you turn on the tape on Sundays, I want to show that I played hard for my brothers. I'm sure these guys will say the same.
Now joining us is one of the best receivers in Ball State history, a career of over 2,000 yards receiving, Briggs Orsbon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, what is it like to be back in Muncie, especially in homecoming week?
It's just fun to get back here and to see all the people that I got to experience my college years with, some of my teammates, some of the alumni, the coaches. It's just a lot of fun to go back and go down memory lane.
Now, you were a bigger wide receiver, and I think your frame is kind of more the modern receiver frame, 6 foot 190, but back in your day, I think it was more the bigger wide receiver that was getting the play. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I always kind of thought of myself as a possession receiver. I wasn't the speedster. I did start on the outside my freshman year, but then I ended up moving towards the inside later in my career.
And now you got a chance to go to a bowl game. You guys were very successful freshman year with Brady Hoke, 12-2. What has it been like to see Ball State find that kind of same success last year, and they're on their way if they can continue to win this year?
No, it's great to see them back on top. Last year was an awesome season, obviously. MAC championship and the bowl win. It's nothing better than seeing your alma mater, go get the championship, and you want to have those guys. They're putting in a lot of hard work. You realize how much hard work they're putting in, and so it's good to see them win.
Now, in terms of expectations for the Redbird rivalry, it's always a good one. What would you expect from the Ball State offensively?
I think if we can just, control the clock, if we can take care of the ball, we'll be fine. The last few games we've obviously gotten the wins, and I think it's because we're doing a better job of managing the turnovers, taking care of the ball, and so I think that's the key to success there.
I think we found a lot of success with that versatile offense. There's a lot of weapons there, and when we threw, say a Will Jones and a Justin Hall in the backfield with Drew Plitt, they were able to do pretty much whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, and I love the freshman running back. Carson Steele, he's doing a great job stepping up in the backfield, and I think that's been key. You got to have the run game, and that starts with the offensive line as well. And so you got to have the run game to keep the defense on their toes, and then you got to give Drew time, and we got to pass the ball.
Now, as a player, what did playing in homecoming week mean to you?
I try to think back this morning on maybe my most memorable homecoming game, but they all just bleed together. The season's such a grind, and every game, you're going out there and trying to make every game feel the same. So as a player, when you're out there on the field, it's really no different than any other week.
And now you had 3 head coaches in 4 years, is what you told me. What would your advice be to Mike New as they're trying to achieve, the second straight MAC championship in a row?
The good thing for Coach New is it seems like right now he's got his recruits in, and then that's the biggest factor is just you gotta have your guys. I mean, he's trying to create a system. They're trying to play their ball, and if you don't have your players and you got a new head coach every year, then that's tough to do.
And you stayed through it all. You saw Ball State at very different phases, and it seems like we're trending upwards.
For sure, no, yeah. I was essentially on a roller coaster for 4 years, but Coach New's got the guys, I think, in a good spot, and so I think everyone's pretty happy with what he's doing.
Now, one final thing, if we could get one expectation, doesn't have to be a final score prediction or anything, but an expectation for tonight's game.
Well, I think we're going to get the W for sure.
Oh, yeah.
No, we've got a lot of momentum. obviously 3 wins in a row, I believe it is. And so like I said, if we take care of the ball, I think we'll be fine. And I think the defense is playing better. So we just got to go out there, focus on the controllables, and do what we do.
That is Briggs Orsman, one of the best receivers in Ball State history. Thank you again for being here. This is SportsLink Game Day. We'll be right back.
What's in a story? From the first time we picked up a pencil, we were storytellers. Storytelling connects us as humans. It teaches us how to live by discovering how fellow human beings overcome. It initiates emotions that bind us to the world and people around us. A circular journey where the end is the beginning. Here, our story represents a path to elevate, educate, and empower students and athletes. Ball State SportsLink, developing the next generation of creative storytellers.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Now welcoming in SportsLink digital color analyst Ryan Klimcak. And Ryan, while these two teams have had very similar records, Ball State at 4-3 and Miami at 3-4, they've had drastically different seasons, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for Miami, I would just say that their offense is a little bit more physical, and they're really predicated on their physicality. They like using all of their tight ends pretty much and running the football through the teeth of the defense. And for Ball State, it's obviously all about finesse and the playmaking ability. Justin Hall certainly comes to mind as one of the best playmakers in the country, not just the Mid-American Conference, but just looking at the stats from both of these teams this season. Very tough non-conference schedules for both of these squads. For Ball State, obviously starting 1-3, and then Miami 2-1 so far in conference play. So both these teams kind of in a groove so far in Mid-American Conference play. They've done a good job so far. Miami, the third best run defense in the Mid-American Conference. That's going to be something to certainly keep an eye out on here today.
So for a Redbird rivalry that always seems to be kind of evenly matched, what would your keys be to the game to win, in either team? Excuse me.
Well, for Ball State, I think turning over the football is going to be huge. So that's my first key, creating turnovers. One reason why Ball State is on a 3-game winning streak is they're +8 in turnover margin their last 3 weeks. +8, Hudson. No turnovers for themselves. They've gotten extra possessions from the other team and extra opportunities for points. They've just done a great job capitalizing on those situations. When you can create turnovers and not turn the ball over on your own, you're going to be in really good shape to win each and every week. This is really shades of what we saw last year out of this very experienced roster. When they create turnovers, it really gives their offense a whole lot of momentum and confidence to work with. And just looking at their secondary, Bryce Cosby certainly comes to mind. It's just been a turnover machine again this season. And it's just done a great job for Ball State in the secondary. My second key is going to be to pound the rock. Carson Steele had over 100 yards rushing a week ago versus Eastern Michigan in that win, 138 yards on the ground to be exact. And it was really in between the tackles. He did a lot of good damage. He's really growing as a runner this season. Ball State obviously has a couple running backs they use. All the running backs so important to really open up the passing game for Drew Plitt. One thing that will be interesting, though, is to see if Ball State decides to rely on the pass to sort of open up the run and work backwards. That's something sort of noticed last week in the first 3 throws or so, first 3 plays from scrimmage for Ball State against Eastern Michigan. And then lastly, winning third down is really the most important key, I think, for both these teams here today. For Miami, Ohio, they're 40% converting on third downs. For Ball State, 41% converting on third downs this season. So not a whole lot of separation in that stat category really for both of these teams. If either one of these teams could stay around 45% or up above that, they're going to be in really good position to win. So third down success is going to be huge here today for both of these squads. It'll be interesting to see sort of what happens in that department. Ball State does such a good job of not even putting themselves in third down situations. That's what they've done the last 3 weeks, and that's obviously one way to get it done too, if you move the ball downfield before you even get put in those third down spots.
Now, they did run into a little bit of trouble last week in Eastern Michigan at the end of the game, you know, when we needed a field goal to kind of push us within two scores. We missed it, and you know, all of a sudden, Eastern Michigan's on the prowl looking to win that game.
Special teams is obviously going to be another huge thing. I know Justin Hall has really started to get it going, returning kicks this season, and I know he has the 1 kick return for the touchdown against Army last time Ball State was here at home. So if they can get some momentum on special teams too, that's also going to be another big thing, because we know that this Ball State roster is full of so many playmakers, and it really starts with Justin Hall. So we'll see how the return game does and sets up this really high-rolling offense as of late. I know it's going to be a good one. It always seems to be good when these two teams meet. There's no doubt about that.
That's right. I'm not worried about the offense. I'm looking at special teams, and I'm looking at defense, especially with the kind of holes that we have. But they've been able to make an impact in each game this year. One of those players to make an impact is third-year walk-on linebacker Cole Pierce. For his efforts and his in-game ability, Cole under very, very special honor. Take a look.
I'm a pretty humble man. I mean, I want to win at the end of the day. Like, even if I play 5 or 30 snaps on defense or special teams, whatever. I mean, I really just want to win on the games. I started playing football when I was about 4 or 5 years old. Always defense player all throughout grade school and middle school and high school. You know, I just like hitting people obviously more. You really got to do your 111th. For the most part, you just got to read and react based off your keys. Having the amount of seniors we have on our defense is amazing, especially in my room, the inside back room. I have Jalen Thomas and Brandon Martin. They've taught me a lot of new things, and it's really great to look up to them, to see what they do to become successful. I wasn't highly recruited out of high school. I was just looking for opportunities, and Coach Doherty came out, talked to me at my high school, and decided to give me a walk-on spot. So I just took advantage of it, and here I am. The Army week, yeah, we knew that was a huge game. They were undefeated at the time. That was basically my first career start here, so I knew it was going to be a big game for me, and I trust the process, trusted what the coaches had planned for us, and executed. Coach knew. After our team meeting Sunday, the day after the Army game, he announced it in front of the team.
And obviously, since we're talking about this, about you get what you work for, not what you wish for, said that a lot around here. Just want to say congratulations to Cole.
My father and my mom called them after that to tell them. They got really emotional, obviously, so they just kept telling me how proud they were of me for getting the scholarship. It was obviously an amazing feeling, but it really makes you think about, you can't get one thing in one day, you know? I mean, it's over a period of time where you have to work hard and just stay consistent. So it was an awesome feeling for me and my family and friends also too.
Arena in Muncie, Indiana is the location for NCAA volleyball.
Going out on a rollout.
Here's Golanski to serve for Ball State, and away we go.
Replay. Ready, 3, take 3. Ready, effect to red, effect to red. Roll it, ready to dissolve Y. Stay there 2. Dissolve Y, roll. Ready out to 2. And out to 2. Funny.
Junior setter for this Norse team. Golanski sets up Mitchum, and Mitchum had it read well by Northern Kentucky.
Ready 2, take 2. Ready, effect to red, effect to red. Roll it. 13 Ball State. 13 Ball State. Ready 6, out to 6.
Tonight's Ball State Sports Link production was produced by Cameron Surdick and directed by Tristan Russell. So for Lexi Evelyn and Anna Lowe, I'm Ryan Klimcak saying so long from Muncie, Indiana.
Alongside me now is Ball State Sports Link digital sideline reporter Baylen Hite. And Baylen, both Ball State and Miami have played Eastern and Army recently. Let's look at how they fared.
Well, it's different to see two teams matching up here in conference play that played a non-conference foe not too long ago, just within the span of 3 weeks of each other. And you can see the difference between these two teams, right? That Army game for Ball State, the absolute turning point in this season, and if Ball State does indeed make it to Detroit, we're definitely going to circle that one and just talk about how the season changed from that point on. And you can almost say the same for Miami. They were rolling a bit there. Army came in and controlled that game from start to finish. I mean, Army just feasted on the ground against Miami. There are some holes, you know, in Miami, Ohio that Ball State is going to be able to at least target. I don't know if they're going to be able to execute that, but you can just see the difference in that balance for Ball State as we hop to the Eastern Michigan game.
Oh, yeah.
233 in the air, 200 on the ground. Ball State, not necessarily a complete control game, but something we haven't seen from the Cardinals. That offensive line up front, just like Charlie talked about a little earlier, and the emergence of freshman Carson Steele really running hard for Ball State right now, and it's changed the overall look at this offense as well.
Absolutely. I was going to say Carson Steele played a huge role in that Eastern Michigan game. And for Miami, we've kind of seen their inability to score points when it matters. But last week, Maurer comes in, 22 of 27, 3 touchdowns, and they look like they had no issues. So that certainly poses a threat for Ball State.
Well, it's been a little bit of a kind of a guessing game for Miami so far this season, because you had Gabbert in that in the starting role initially, banged up a little bit with some injuries, wasn't quite what I think the Redhawks expected coming into this season, similar to last year where Ball State lost to Miami. Maurer came in, had an amazing second half against the Cardinals. And now he's come in exactly like last season early on and taking care of that job. An excellent arm, a tall quarterback back there for Miami. Look for him to have a big day today and challenge this Ball State secondary. It's been able to get turnovers, +8 in the last 3 games for the Cardinals, a big reason why a lot of wins in the last 3 for Ball State. But it's going to be interesting, right, because you talked about Miami not being able to get points when it's necessarily needed, but been able to score. These are 2 very even teams, and expect an extremely physical game from these 2.
Right. So with those expectations, what do you see happening for Ball State against Miami today?
Well, like I said, physicality is where it's going to start. It's going to start in the trenches for both of these 2 teams. You're going to see an absolutely outstanding defensive line in front for Miami. You got a couple of guys in the top 10, top 15 in sacks across the country. They've been able to dial up the blitzes when they've needed, and a really versatile lineup defensively for Miami, a defense that Ball State really hasn't seen as far as versatility. Maybe not the talent of Penn State earlier this year, but versatility, and the ability to move guys around and just give you some different looks. As senior quarterback Drew Plitt will have to navigate for sure. He's looked a lot more comfortable. And for Ball State on the other end, offensively, you've got to be able to establish the run early, get Carson Steele comfortable, allow Drew Plitt to move around a little bit in the pocket, establish some reads, and really open this game up early for Ball State.
I think the one game changer for me is the return of Brandon Martin. What a huge addition to a defense that is, lacking right now. They have a few holes with those injuries, so getting Brandon Martin back, certainly huge.
Yeah, the defense has been banged up. It's been a next man up mentality, rather, and Brandon Martin, we didn't know if we'd see Brandon Martin the rest of the season, right?
No.
We thought initially after game 1 against Western Illinois, we're like, you know what, not looking the best for Brandon. We thought maybe that would be it. All of a sudden, working with some doctors, trying to find some different ways out. And that's how he's been his entire Ball State career, right? He just wants to play football. He's an incredibly smart football player on the field, and is that middle. I mean, he's the defending MAC Defensive Player of the Year for a reason, right? He is ready to play. Probably a little bit of a pitch count for Brandon this year, but this game is big. Not only maybe it won't show up statistically what he does, but his ability to just kind of get comfortable, be able to read a live offense again, and help this team later on in the season. I think that's what we're going to see from Brandon Martin today. I wouldn't expect too much. Maybe some first and second downs. Probably not a whole lot on third down, depending the down and distance. But definitely a big just momentum and confidence booster for Brandon Martin to be able to work on that leg again.
Okay, folks, we're going to let Baylen get down to the field for SportsLink Game Day presented by Sight and Sound. I'm Hudson French. Go enjoy the game.